But first, an important subject in these days of snow and blizzard is how to fight the common cold. And tomorrow, NBC's Weekday deals with this problem in a special feature by Dr. Leona Baumgartner, New York City Health Commissioner. Yes, it's NBC's Weekday to keep you up to date in every field, from health to housekeeping, from politics to pots and pans. And there's also the best variety entertainment on Weekday, tomorrow headed by Metropolitan Opera star Robert Merrill. Listen every Monday through Friday to NBC's Weekday. And now stay tuned for X-1.
Countdown for blast off. X-5, 4, 3, 2, X-1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents X-1. Tonight's story, $1,000 a Plate by Jack McKenty.
Ferry ship from Deimos Space Station carrying cargo and passengers from Earth now arriving in Blasting Pit 6. Radiation clearance and quarantine officers report to passenger conveyor. Mars Airways to New Chicago, Port Kelly, Marsport Park, New Amityville, and Nova Massapequa. Take off in 15 minutes. All aboard.
Excuse me, sir. Could you help me?
Sure, buddy. What'll it be? Cards? Dice? A little shot of distilled huckleberry?
No, I just wondered if you could direct me
Brother, you came to the right man. I can direct you anywhere you want to go. That's what I'm here for. You just get off the ferry?
Yes, I came on the Phobos Queen.
Yeah. You know you can spot him in my business. All right, what'll it be now?
Well, I want to know how I can get to the observatory.
The what?
The Mars Observatory. You know, the Astronomical Research Center.
What do you want to go there for?
I work there, or at least I will.
No kidding. Mm-hmm. You're one of them double-dome stargazers, huh?
Yes, I'm an astronomer.
Yeah, I heard there was a lot of you guys out there under glass, but I don't get out of town much. I got to keep my hand in, you know. Are you sure you wouldn't like a little flutter before you settle down in your rut?
No, I never play cards. Occasionally a little chess.
Uh-huh. I don't know if they got any chess in any of the casinos, but if you want, I could arrange it. You know, play against the house, $5 apiece for the kitty, and a C-note for checkmate.
No, thank you. Can you direct me to the observatory?
Well, you'll have to get a sand hack. None of the regular buses go by there. They just hit the casinos on the strip. Hey, I'll tell you what. The next ferry won't clear for another half hour. I'll walk you over to the hack stand.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you, Mr.
Just call me Pusher. It's on account of my occupation, you know.
Oh, I see. I'm Enright C. Bensinger, Dr. Bensinger.
Well, it's a pleasure, Doc. Right this way.
Well, this isn't exactly what I expected.
Your first trip to Mars, huh?
Yes, it is.
Well, you'll get used to it. Out this way. Adjust your gills.
Gills?
Sure. But what do you think you're going to breathe outside that door? There isn't enough oxygen on Mars to keep a mouse alive. They gave you a standard issue when you got off the ferry. It's in that bag.
Oh. Yes, I'm afraid I was reading when they explained it. The quarterly journal from the Harvard Observatory, you know.
Hmm? Oh, yeah. I never miss a copy. Now, look, you put the nose clip in, see, and crack the valve. This way it compresses enough air to keep you going. Okay? All right, let's go.
Cold.
Sure, it's cold. Sand hacks are right up the street there.
Beautiful. All the colors in the sky. I am surprised, though, in an atmosphere this thin, the sunset shouldn't be as spectacular.
That ain't the sunset, Chief. That's the new sign on top of the Canal Casino. Right there behind you, see?
Fun. Fun.
Yeah, but if you want a square shake with the dice, you go to Harry Harvey's place, the Red Sands Hotel.
I suppose the seeing is excellent.
You're telling me. You know, he's got a line of girls like you never see nowhere else.
Oh, I'm afraid I meant astronomical seeing. The telescopes, you know.
Hey, you got an idea there. Telescopes.
What's that?
Nothing. Fireworks. It's a Mardi Gras.
Oh, what?
Mardi Gras. You know, a big party all over town. Parades, costumes, liquor, fireworks, gambling. You know, a big celebration.
Well, what's the occasion?
An eclipse of the two moons.
Oh, but that occurs very frequently.
Oh, sure. You'd be surprised how much a Mardi Gras ups the take on the strip. Well, here are the sand hacks, and look, don't let them hackies charge you more than $15 for the trip. Just tell them you know me. Just tell them Pusher sent you.
Gentlemen, I want you all to meet Dr. Benzinger, our new colleague. These are Doctors Fitz, Spiegel, Ortney, and Klein. I'm sorry to introduce you to our team at such a critical moment, but our situation is rather desperate.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Spiegel, show Dr. Benzinger your plate.
Here, just look at this. Just look. It took me 8 weeks working with the computer to plot this plate, and look.
It seems fogged. These streaks, I don't believe I've ever seen them on an astronomical photograph before. What are they?
Skyrockets, that's what they are. Skyrockets. Morton, I tell you that they fired them in our direction on purpose.
All right. Calm down, Spiegel.
Calm down. Do you realize that it will be 12 years before this particular conjunction can be photographed again? Morton, you've got to do something.
Couldn't you write a little note to the Chamber of Commerce and ask them to eliminate the fireworks?
We've written a note every time a small boy lets off a Roman candle, and it was no use.
I tell you, they fire them this way on purpose.
I'm afraid that's true. The other directions around town are either oil refineries or homes of the casino owners.
I don't suppose there's any chance of moving the observatory, then, out into the desert.
My dear Dr. Benzinger, we'd have to bring in crews to tear it down, other crews to move it and set it up, not to mention breakage and replacement, which would involve more freight from Earth at $7.97 per pound, dead weight. As it is, the immense costs add up to a staggering total. Do you know what a single photographic plate costs us, counting overhead? $1,000.
Well, then what is the answer?
Another letter to the town council, I suppose. Let me write it this time, Dr. Morton. My grandmother used to have several rather picturesque phrases which I believe I could translate.
No, Spiegel. Dignity, remember? We are an adjunct of Harvard University. Dr. Spiegel, I shall ask you and Dr. Benzinger to accompany me in person to the town council. Surely they cannot turn down a rational request in the interest of science.
Well, gentlemen, the town council appreciates the problem.
Yes, I felt certain it would. Naturally, you're aware of the importance of astronomical research, Mr. Harvey.
Well, I can see your point, Doc. You sit out there in your little glass hut, pointing your brownie camera up at the stars, snapping away. But you got to look at our point of view.
Oh?
Now you take my place. Harvey's Red Sands. I got a heavy investment. 14 crap tables, a half a dozen roulette wheels, and the rest of the overhead. I got to keep them wheels running. It's the Mardi Gras that drags the suckers in.
But really, Mr. Harvey, we were just asking you to curtail the pyrotechnic display.
Now, wait just a minute. I'm as clean living as the next guy.
Oh, Dr. Benzinger means the fireworks.
Oh. Well, I'd like to help you out, boys, but I look at it this way. Those stars you're looking at are going to be up there for a couple of thousand years. But a sucker is different. You got to grab him while he's still healthy.
But in the interest of science, surely the town council can't agree with you.
Doc, the town council is made up of Joe Rocco, Pete Carney, Alex the Armenian, and me. We own the 4 biggest houses in town. So go ahead, fellas. Take all them snapshots you want to. And if you happen to lower your telescope, get a couple of good ones through a window of the Grand Canal Hotel. I'll take a couple of 8x10 enlargements. I'll see you around, Doc.
Well, I'm afraid the town council was no help.
They just remain insensible to reason.
Well, I'm afraid the only thing those gentlemen understand is money.
My dear Dr. Benzinger, the smallest bet allowed in Mr. Harvey's establishment is approximately the same as your monthly salary.
Oh. Dr. Morton, suppose the gambling operators were suddenly to lose a great deal of money.
They never do.
Of course, with the ordinary layman playing against them. But suppose the best scientific brains were to concentrate on a simple matter like the probabilities of a given roulette wheel, or the combinations and permutations applicable to a game of poker. We could put the main computer on it.
Doctor, are you seriously suggesting...
Well, I think he's got a point. If we could give those casinos a shellacking, they might stop the fireworks just to get rid of us.
Now, let me get this straight, Doc. All you eggheads up there made up a kitty to get into a crap game?
Well, that's right. I thought you might direct me to the largest establishment, Mr. Harvey's place, I believe.
Now, look, Doc, come over here. Mm-hmm. No, over here in the corner. Now, look, I'm a pusher. See, my job is to take these tourists by the lapel and shove them in front of a dice table quick before they spend any of their letters foolishly on food and lodging. But these rubes, they come here expecting to get took. They don't miss it, you understand? It's all part of a good time. But you guys out there running your Harvard peekaboo racket, you're different. Now, what do you want to get mixed up in this for? You take your peanuts home and shove it in a piggy bank. Save up and buy yourself a new telescope or something.
I appreciate your solicitude, Mr. Pusher, but I'm quite determined. Which way is Mr. Harvey's place?
Well, if you've made up your mind, the bus leaves from right over there in about 15 minutes. Get a round-trip ticket, because Mr. Harvey don't want no suckers stuck without they got car fare away from his place.
I shouldn't worry about that. Frankly, I expect to leave Mr. Harvey flat broke. I'll see you just before dawn. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it.
But what happened?
Luckily, a certain Mr. Pusher was generous enough to lend me $15 for a sand hack. Otherwise, I would have had to walk.
Well, that was rather decent of him.
Well, not exactly. He said he gets a percentage when he pulls in a ripe chump.
You mean it's all gone?
Every dollar. I just can't understand it. I kept careful notes. I followed the formula that was worked out by the computer. I calculated the odds by slide rule, carrying them to the 4th and 5th decimal place. I just can't understand it. Mr. Pusher said that I had a frigid digit.
A what?
A cold finger. I gather that's the opposite of a hot hand.
But according to the games theory as outlined in the last International Congress of Theoretical Mathematics...
Unfortunately, at the last Mathematical Congress, they weren't trying to make a 4 the hard way.
There they go again, skyrockets. I was hoping to get at least 3 plates in before they started.
And the crushing blow occurred when Mr. Pusher offered to sell me my horoscope.
No.
Yes. Oh. He said anyone was a fool to get into a dice game if the stars weren't right.
Now, there's an example of what we're up against. Medieval superstition existing side by side with hydrozyne rockets and nuclear space drive. Shocking!
I'm not so sure. Might be a good idea.
Dr. Morton sent for the staff psychiatrist. Benzinger has scratched his reflector.
No, gentlemen. Pusher was right. Every man who's going to gamble should have a horoscope. It's very important to know what the stars say.
What are you talking about?
And where on Mars is the place best equipped to tell you what the stars say?
Oh, no.
Dr. Benzinger.
Gentlemen, I tell you, it may be a stroke of genius. Hello? Is this the advertising office? This is Dr. Benzinger. I should like to place an ad. No, there will be no pretty girl. Just this. Free. For the first time ever, your horoscope scientifically cast by the staff of the famous Mars Observatory. Learn your luck, your future. Write or call Mars Observatory. No charge, no obligation. Yes, thank you. I'd like to run that every day until further notice.
Pusher,
Yeah, Mr. Harvey.
did you do like I said?
Yes, sir. I went out to the observatory just like you told me. You know, I had to share the sand hack with 5 other guys. I understand the bus company's putting a route out there.
A big crowd, huh?
Sure, Mr. Harvey. You know, them horoscopes they're giving there, the only thing on Mars that don't cost the tourists any money.
All right. What happened?
Well, when I got out there was this Doc Benzinger, you see, all dressed up in a dunce cap with stars on it or something, in a big robe. They showed us all around the place. You never saw telescopes as big as that.
All right. Skip the traveler.
All right, well, finally they took my name and my birth date, my collar size, and they run it through this computer. You should have seen that thing. Lights and bells. I'm telling you, it looked like the biggest pinball machine you ever saw. I kept waiting for it to tilt.
The horoscopes.
Yeah, well, they give it to me finally. I mean, the first couple of pages is the ordinary bourgeois about the sun and the moon and the stars. But on the fourth page, that's the kicker.
What'd it say?
Well, it said that I'd be real lucky at most of the gambling places, but I'd lose my shirt at... boss, you're not going to like this.
Go ahead.
I'd lose my shirt if I played at Harry Harvey's place.
Pretty shrewd. You know, for a bunch of scientists, they're pretty smart. That isn't going to work. Who in his right mind is going to pay attention to a lot of hooey like that?
Sure, Mr. Harvey. Can I go now?
What's your hurry?
Well, I'm going over to Purple Flamingo to play a little poker. I mean, after all, they say I'll be lucky any place but here. I mean, you can't argue with science.
Gentlemen, I think we're on our way. I checked Mr. Harvey's establishment. You could shoot an elk in the gambling room.
Empty, eh?
There was nobody playing but an elderly masochist who likes to lose.
Dr. Morton, we have a visitor.
Bensinger, I have asked you please to take off that confounded astrologer's hat when you come into my office. It embarrasses me.
Oh, I'm sorry. But, Doctor, allow me to present Mr. Harry Harvey.
Hiya.
How's business, Mr. Harvey?
Yeah. Well, look, gentlemen, let's put our cards on the table. You put a hole in my pocket like I haven't had since I once ran into an honest police lieutenant in Cincinnati.
I presume you've come about our horoscopes.
Yeah. Let's shoot or get off the foul line. How much?
I beg your pardon?
How much will it take to lay off?
Mr. Harvey, just a promise.
What?
You're on the town council, Mr. Harvey. Now, the next time the question of tourist entertainment is discussed, we want you to vote against any fireworks display.
Well, sure, that's no problem, but look, I'm only one vote.
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Harvey. Every one of the casino owners on the council will have his turn to be mentioned in the stars.
Yeah? You gonna knock us all one by one like a flight of ducks?
Well, that's the general idea.
I gotta hand it to you. I gotta take off my hat to you.
Mr. Harvey, we're desperate. We cannot afford to let valuable and irreplaceable photographic plates be spoiled by fireworks.
Okay, you win. But listen, here's $5 bills.
$500? But we couldn't take it, Mr. Harvey. I've already explained.
It's not for me. I want you to take a full-page ad and do the Purple Flamingo in your next horoscope. I'd like to see Joe Rocco's face when he gets a load of it.
All right, Mr. Harvey. We'd be glad to take him next.
And one more thing before I go. Can I look through the telescope? I never looked through one before.
Well, that's the last of them. The Red Sands, Frank Land's Paradise, the Martian Gardens, the Two Moons Club.
And the Purple Flamingo. Dr. Morton, we've got them all.
There will be a meeting of the town council a week from now, and after that, no more fireworks. All those beautiful stars and nebulae and not a misbegotten skyrocket to stand between us. Oh, it's beautiful.
Gentlemen, I have some news for you.
You have?
I am in receipt of an interplanetary radiogram from our parent organization, the Harvard Observatory.
Are they going to send the new mass spectroscope?
Please. Morton, Earth newspapers carrying accounts of horoscopes published by your organization. Very unscientific. Harvard Board of Overseers aghast. Must stop at once. Find other solution. Signed, L.K. Bell, Director.
Well, I thought Thursday was the regular day for personal message delivery.
It is.
Oh, Mr. Harvey.
I asked Mr. Harvey to wait in the washroom. He brought the message down.
Oh, sure. All of us have contacts in the radio office. We can get a hold of messages a couple of days before they clear.
Did you come down to gloat over our misfortune, Mr. Harvey?
No. You got my promise to help you boys, and I'll stick by you. But the rest of them, well, it's tough, fellas, but business is business. I'm afraid the fireworks will go on as usual.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey.
Look, what would happen if you brought all the boys out here, showed them around, and then you could offer to name a star after them or something? I'd sure like to be able to point in the sky and say, That's Harvey's star?
Well, Mr. Harvey, I'm afraid any stars worth looking at with the naked eye already have names. Besides, Harvard Observatory wouldn't stand for this idea either. It would make as much sense to them as you naming a poker chip after me.
But, Dr. Morton, we've got to think of something.
We tried rigging up a photoelectric cell. It closes the shutter when a rocket goes up, but it cuts the exposure time too much.
But if we can't get these plates, we may not be able to duplicate them for years. Why, right now, they're preparing the first trip to a newly discovered planet. And the work of the observatory is necessary to ensure the success of that trip. Now, surely your colleagues will realize that, Mr. Harvey. The future of the human race is at stake.
Doc, the only race those jokers are interested in takes place at Tropical Park.
Look out there. They're starting the fireworks.
All of them heading this way again.
No. It's nothing personal. It's just that if we point them any other way, they're likely to splash people. Or maybe set something on fire.
You mean if the rockets misfired and get the tourists all wet, there would be trouble?
Oh, sure. You couldn't have that. A guy with wet pants ain't going to stand around no crap table for hours.
Mr. Harvey, do you really want to help us?
Well, sure. I promised, didn't I?
Dr. Spiegel, do you think the research library would have any material on pyrotechnics?
Bensinger, what do you have in mind?
Well, Dr. Morton, I was thinking of fighting fire with fireworks. Careful with that match, Harvey.
Oh, don't worry. With the oxygen around here, you need a blowtorch to light a cigarette.
Have you got the rockets ready, Dr. Bensinger?
Well, here they are in the launching racks. I've got all my instruments, compass, a clinometer, an azimuthal radioscope, and a blowtorch.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Spiegel. He's bringing the calculated trajectories from the computer.
Say, I don't know if I like this. What if they miss? Or they go off too soon or something?
Oh, nonsense, Mr. Harvey. You forget. We're scientists.
Here are the figures, Bensinger. We double-checked them on the master computer.
All right, then, let's go. They'll be starting the official fireworks any minute.
Azimuth 360.3570.
Check.
Elevation 49.3740.
Check.
That's corrected for wind, velocity, temperature change, and magnetic eddy currents.
Are you sure you guys know what you're doing with them skyrockets?
Don't worry, Mr. Harvey. They're going to explode in the Grand Canal and get everybody in the Canal Casino all wet. You shouldn't object. After all, it's your competition.
Coming up to 0 hour, Bensinger.
Light the torch.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire.
There they go.
Oh, interesting effect. That purple color.
Oh, do you like it?
Yes.
That was my idea. Radioactive fluorides.
They're up over the town now.
Hey, one of them's beginning to wobble.
Oh, I can't understand that. The computer was absolutely certain.
It's going over the south of town.
The other one's tracking correctly on the radar. It'll hit the Canal Square.
Yeah, but look, the purple one. There it goes. It hit.
Looks like it's starting a fire.
Hey, must have hit somebody's house. Hey, you can see it now. It's a house burning.
Oh, dear. There must have been a weak tube in the computer.
Yeah, some guy's going to be real sore. I can see it real clear with the glasses now. That house on top of the hill there by the Geeko bush. Boy, it's burning like...
Mr. Harvey, what's the matter?
That's my house!
Dr. Bensinger, I've called you in to read a letter that I've written to Mr. Harvey. Oh, do you know his address?
I believe he's staying at his gambling establishment. His house was a total loss.
Yes, well, yes. This has been a very difficult letter for me to write.
I believe the letter is academic, Dr. Morton. Mr. Harvey is outside.
Oh, he is?
With two very large gentlemen with bulging pockets.
Oh, dear. I don't know what to say. Well, Mr. Harvey, what a surprise.
You two apes wait outside. Now, Dr. Morton, about those fireworks. I want you to know I believe in direct action. I don't like fiddling around.
Well, of course not.
Like the time I had some trouble with a bottom dealer from Luna City. I didn't fool around. I sent him back to the moon in a cargo rocket with no air.
How interesting.
Now, about your problem.
I assure you, we apologize.
Apologize? That's great.
I just remembered I left a few plates in a bar.
I don't go away, Doctor. You're in on this, too.
No, there wouldn't be room. Not for two of us.
What are you talking about?
Well, in a cargo rocket, especially without air.
What? I'm trying to tell you. The council voted against fireworks.
No, as a matter of fact, I have a very bad sinus, and no air would definitely... What?
Oh, sure. We decided anything that could burn down an honest citizen's house was too dangerous. Very civic-minded, that council.
But I don't understand.
I kept my promise. I said I'd help you, and I did.
Well, I'm terribly embarrassed. We were trying to get a collection among the staff to help you pay for your loss, but I'm afraid the total assets of the observatory wouldn't reconstruct your garage.
Yeah.
But we held a staff meeting, and we decided on a more permanent kind of remembrance. Mr. Harvey, on this photograph, you see this trail? This bright trail?
Oh, one of them skyrockets again? I'm sorry, Doc. It won't happen again.
No. This is no skyrocket. It's a comet. It will be quite bright for several months. And we've decided to call it Harvey's Comet.
Harvey's Comet? Hey, that's real nice. Harvey's Comet. Hey, Doc, you put me on top of the world. Them boys at the Canal Casino boasting about their new sign. But me, I got a comet. Harvey's Comet. Why, every sucker on Mars will see it every night. It's the best advertisement since they wrote 7 down across the face of the moon.
Well, I'm glad that you're pleased.
Well, as a matter of fact, Doc, I kind of heard about it in advance of one of your boys. You named the comet after me? Okay. I brought something for you. Here.
What is it?
A poker chip from my place. Go ahead, read it.
Harvey's Club. Dr. Morton's poker chip. 5,000.
That's dollars, Doc. Don't spend it all in one place.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine. Your announcer, Fred Collins. X-1 was an NBC Radio Network production.
Hey there, good morning. How are we? I'm doing fine. How you doing? I'm fucking exhausted. I'm beat up from the feet up. tore down from the head down. Good morning. Kind of running myself ragged lately here. Yeah. I'm doing double duty driving, so it's a little harder to get time on the computer and to get shut-eye, because I need to close my eyes once in a while. I got into bed early last night because I had to. I got home yesterday and from taking my daughter to the university for her Tuesday class. And her commute to her Wednesday morning class today is unavailable. She's going to meet her down there later. So I've got to take her down to school as well this morning and drop her off. Yeah. And then I'll probably go to work. So I got to get done here and then get some breakfast, run her into town or into school, and then try to figure out what the heck I'm going to do for the rest of the day. I keep forgetting to put my teeth in because it's like I don't have the time budgeted yet to say, oh shit, I got to put these in. In fact, last night I came home from dropping my wife off and was gonna put them in after I got home with my daughter, and after I took my wife and dropped her off, and before I took my daughter to her friends last night to go to the movies. Minecraft sucks. That's her opinion. I'm gonna believe it. But I was gonna put my dentures in last night and wear them for a few hours. And I came in after I dropped my wife off and sat down. And a half an hour went by. Boom. And I was like, my daughter's like, okay, I'm ready to go. And I'm like, crap, I was going to, screw it. But that happened yesterday too. And then all of a sudden it was gone. It was the good feelings there, and then they were gone. I remembered and then I forgot. Which is par for the course here, buddy. Yeah, I don't think I've been par on any course, really. Except for, you know. I'm like the king of funny comments, right? Well, at least I think so. I mean, other people are like, did he have to say that? Right? I'm in this Dodge van group so that I can find out about how to fix things in my van. I fixed the sliding chair in the back bed that goes, it sits like this, and then it comes and goes flat like a bed, and it slides forward and back. It was off the track, and I had to use my group to figure out how to fix it. So somebody posted on the Dodge van group, how come my input is not being accepted? And of course, stupid me, I said, because you haven't bought flowers yet. Buy some flowers and then try it. Oh, good morning, Joey. How are you today? Old Time Radio Wednesday. That's it. Oh, I could just go swimming in this cup right here. The cup of the day is my Universal Studios Hollywood cup that we got last year. Yeah, this I would expect. It's like, well, I asked my daughter what she's like, how you feel in the mornings when she gets up tired. When we get to school, just before I drop her off, so how you doing today? You feel tired? Yeah. And then when she's home, supposed to be doing homework, she's like, I'm bored and I don't want to do homework. I'm like, it's on you, baby. You know, I'm not going to force you to think about homework and schoolwork and that kind of stuff. God, this is uncomfortable. And I never had to. She always just deals with it. She just deals with it, you know. Let's do that. Let's do that. Did you look at my ass? Don't look at my ass. Jeez, oh please. Stop looking at my ass. Yeah. Like that don't happen anymore. No, man. I remember when I used to go out when I was in my teens and 20s and stuff. I made sure that all the chicks were checking out my ass. Yeah, baby. You know, but that's back in the day when your biology is telling you that you need to find a mate, right? So, my wife is looking out the window at the kitchen, and she says, "Oh, those birds, they're so pretty. The one with the red, they're two, but the one of them has the really colorful red breast on it." I said, "Yeah, that's the boy." She said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, the boy is in the world of birds, who are the pretty ones, to attract mates." And she's like, "Wow, really?" I said, "Yeah." And it works both ways in the human world, right? Everybody's trying to get that input. So today is Old Time Radio Wednesday. This morning we listened to one of my favorite shows. What was it? $1,000 a plate. Because the observatory on Mars, it costs $1,000 to get one photographic plate for the telescope, all the way up to Mars from Earth. And it's one of my favorite episodes. And if you're familiar with Futurama, then you know the whole turning all of Mars into a giant casino, and that's kind of what happened back in this episode in the 1950s. They just, you know what? Let's just send a bunch of gangsters up there to take over Mars and turn it into a Alex the Armenian is one of the guys. Joe Rocco and Alex the Armenian. It's like, dude. Oh man. It's like I'm listening to Sirius and XM radio all the time in the car, and they have their own old time radio station, their channel, right? So I listen to that when I don't feel like listening to music. And there were these shows that were on a few weeks ago because of some. Did we have a holiday or something a while back? But they were celebrating something, and they were doing a lot of World War II propaganda radio shows, and I was having a hard time trying to figure out why, in today's social and racial conflicted weather conditions that we have nowadays, right? Why they would allow stuff on the radio to refer to the Japanese people during the war as Japs. And they went further. They would also use a lot of derogatory remarks referring to the Japanese people. And it wasn't the Japanese people, it was the Japanese Empire. It was like, it wasn't Germany during World War II. It was the Nazi Party. So, after the war, it wasn't proper for you to say those fucking Germans. It was proper for you to say those fucking Nazis, right? Because there were a lot of German people there who did not want the Nazis. And a lot of German people there who, after the war, totally fucked with the people who were Nazis. If you were a Nazi during the war, you were like stoned in the middle of the fucking street, ridiculed, your hair was pulled, your head was shaved. I mean, they did all kinds of shit to the Nazi men and women after the war. They really, really brutalized them. And it wasn't like that in Japan, mainly because the end of the war came so sudden and so horribly. It just, all of a sudden, there were, 100,000 or more people dead in an instant. And everybody else is running around burning up and then dying a slow death of radiation. So there was none of that going on in Japan. But it should have been going on more in the United States. We should have turned the corner better. But that's one thing that the United States is not famous for, is turning a corner. They go down the long road and they just keep going and keep going and keep going. Look at how African Americans and Native Americans are still treated in this country, and Mexican Americans. Okay, African Americans were brought to this country. Native Americans had this country stolen from them, just like the Mexican Americans had this country stolen from them. The Native Americans and Mexican Americans, they were the same people. They were just different tribes, okay? Native Americans up here, and the early on Mexican people before the Spaniards came, okay? It was all the same world, okay? It was all the same world, shared knowledge, shared wealth, shared people, shared experiences, shared everything. Just like before Christianity came along, the world was way connected. Why do you think they found South American cocaine and tobacco, South American tobacco, inside of Egyptian mummies? Because the world was a smaller place then. It was connected. Why do you think there were pyramids all over the world? Because the world was connected. I do believe there were airships and Vimana and things back, tens of thousands of years ago. Man can't conceive that tens of thousands of years ago there was any intelligence around, right? And that's ridiculous. That's like looking up into space and thinking, yeah, we're the only ones here, right? To look back into time and think that we were the only people that have had technological advancements. That's ridiculous. That's especially if you look at the things that were accomplished back then. The pyramids. How can you look at the pyramids and say, yeah, they were just dragging rocks around on wood rollers and dirt? Come on. They just piled them up. Yeah, because it was that easy. We still can't explain how they did it. Therefore, they must have had some technological advancements that we don't have today, that we can't even conceive of. Now we're starting to. We're starting to look at the pyramids differently. We're starting to think about gravitational flux, right? Vibration, sound. There's a lot of things that could be used to levitate, right? In fact, let's talk about Egypt next week. Let's talk about egg wiped. That'll be fun. I'll try and dig up some radio, some TV, some movies, put some stuff in the video time machine. I haven't done the video time machine for this week yet. I'm trying to let the week go as long as possible so that I can drop some of these elements from the week into the video time machine. I'd like to start tying everything together, tie the morning show together with the elements on the channel and the video time machine and the live stuff and this and that and that. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, record for the day, before we get too much further. The record for the day is Hot Almighty by Jerry Reed. This is a great one. You can see that it is a radio station version because it has that little notch there. That's a notch where you put the record in and then you slide the thing down and it locks all of the records in the shelf so you can't pull the records out. So only the DJs have the keys to those records. True story. And my father was, okay, Inca Empire. Let's do that, Inca. I'll see what I can, I know I've got some video on Incas on the channel already, because I loaded up a bunch of Native American stuff for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I believe, and I do believe that, Native American culture and Mexican American culture early on with the, Incas and the Mayans and the Toltecs. That was all connected from the tip of Northern America at the top all the way to the south. I believe that we had long distance runners that would make the trip all the way down. Look into it. Think about it. Research it. Do you not know what a long distance runner is? It's just a native, pretty much stripped to just a loincloth, and he would have a message, and he would just run like a motherfucker. It was like the Pony Express of the old, and it was just a guy running, and he would run and run and run, and he'd get to another place, and somebody would take it, and they'd run. And that was it. That was how they communicated long distances back there. Runners. So I do believe that, yes, we had communication between, it would take a little while, but we had communication. And then I think that we had other ways of communicating, right? We could be on a mountaintop here and send up signals, smoke, flashes, lights, whatever. Send signals from way over here to way over here. And then where signals can't be transmitted from mountaintop to mountaintop. Hey, look, you sent out a signal. And then it's like, okay, well, we can't send a signal this way because there's too much stuff or whatever. So you got to run. There's no way to get the message through with smoke, so you got to run. There was a lot of running back then, man. A lot of running. Yeah, we'll talk about some Egypt and some Inca stuff. Totally. Yeah, I just sent you a smoke signal. Can you see it? Yeah, I saw it right out my window here, which aims east. It was kind of a flash, a long flash in the shape of a penis and balls. You're a weirdo, dude. Why you send signals like that? He's like, he got his signals across, that's why. Arr. Penis man, arr. I like to talk about the penis in the morning. I don't know why. Totally. Yeah. There's that song, Penis, right? Right. Yeah. Anyway. Orderly. So, gosh, this is the 8th episode here of Mornings in season 4. I was going to say volume 4, whatever it isn't, Pump up the volume. There's a movie that I just recently acquired. Pump Up the Volume. Christian Slater. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Pump Up the Volume. So yesterday, we were reading through the TV guide for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And I came across a couple of movies. That I kept. Second Chance. There we go. So there was this movie called Second Chance with Brian Keith. You remember Brian Keith from Family Affair, Buffy and Jody and Mr. French and all that crap. I wasn't really into that show. Yeah. Even though one of my favorite child actors was in it, I wasn't really into it. Buffy and Jody. The little boy on the show. He's the same kid who was in Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. He did a great version of Tom Sawyer. This is the wrong program. That's the one I want. Come on. There you go. I can't get my head together. Yeah, just the tip. All right, so there you go. I gotta share this with you. Here's my twisted sense of humor. Okay. There's a message from Natalie. I'm on my way home now. Let's see. I gotta go to messages to myself because I send myself messages all the time. All right. Here we go. Oh, okay. Maybe not. Maybe it's here in my monitor phone here. Let me check my monitor phone. I think I sent it in a message to somebody. Let me check messages. Who did I send it? I think I sent it to Dave. I was like, check this out, dude. Here's how my brain works. Totally. Let's see. All right, let's just try messages and see if I sent it to myself the old way. Here it is. Here it is, yeah. All right. So, old-time radio. So this is cool. Back in the 1970s, there was an R&B soul band called Oreo. It was two tall black girls and one short white guy. All right? Or was it two tall black guys and one short white girl? Either way. So there was two tall black girls and a white short guy with a blonde hair and a pencil handlebar mustache, right? They had three famous hits. No, four. Four famous hits. The band's name was Oreo, and four of their famous hits were I Like My Cream in the Middle, Lick the Cream, Twist My Cookies, and Double Stuff Me. Yeah. So that's one of those things that I thought up with my stupid brain. Stupid brain. Brain. Now I gotta try to get back to where I was before. Yeah. Double Stuff Me. So just the tip reminded me of that. What kind of person or band or singer or act would have that iconic catchphrase, just the tip? Yeah. Let's just ponder on that a minute. Huh. Warm but ain't hot. I'm going to heat it up. I'm going to heat it up. Yeah, I'll be back in a flash. And I'll have hot coffee with me. Oh yeah. Alright, so here we go. Check this out, alright? Here is my box for the day. And this is the front of my box for the day. Old Time Radio Wednesday. And it's just a little cardboard box that I put together for you, like my setup here. So it's just a little cardboard box that I've got set aside here. That I fill with my Wednesday show stuff. And I am going to run over and grab another prop real quick. And it's a heavy one, so you'll hear me grunt. Oh yeah, I'm a gruntin'. Grunt. Mr. Grunt. Grint the grunt. Grint grunt. Okay. So, over the next few minutes here, I'm going to organize my table a little bit so that I can bring this this prop up here and show it to y'all. So let me just kind of get a few things moved to the side here. Ooh, coffee. I gotta drink the coffee while it's hot. Boy. Pain has been pretty bad lately. So I think I'll take a pain break. I've been trying to get to sleep early. And because I've been working and doing a lot of driving and doing the live stuff, it's taken away from my programming. So I haven't uploaded anything onto my channel lately. That doesn't mean there isn't stuff there. I'm still uploaded at least a month out, I believe. So let's see. I am programmed out until May 12, the week of May 12. So I'm still programmed out a few weeks, a month, something like that. So there you go. But I do need to schedule some time to sit and program a couple of weeks. Every week, I need to program out a couple of weeks so that I stay ahead of the game. And I give myself a little bit of a buffer zone in case I just cannot, get the time. Like this last couple of weeks, starting up the live and my busy schedule, I just haven't had time. I've just been too dang busy. Not to mention the fucking pain and lack of sleep. Boy. What are you going to do? I try not to burden my head with any other bullshit, no drama. I don't do drama anymore. If drama comes my way, I just do a 180. I got enough drama. I don't need, my body gives me enough drama. I don't need any other drama. My wife and daughter, no drama, ever. They're like, not low drama, no drama. They just don't, all right? And mainly probably because I'm enough drama with my stupid fucking pain and misery and all the other crap that goes along with it. So, thank you, dears, for putting up with my drama so that the rest of my life can be drama-free. That's great. I appreciate it immensely. You'll never know the extent of my appreciation. Just the tip. Just the facts, ma'am. I was watching the streaming stuff that's just, here's what's on now. And I popped on Dragnet, the movie, because we had just talked about Dragnet, the TV show. And I'm thinking, all right, well, I'm going to watch this. And it was like halfway through it, and I had seen it a million times. It was one of my sleeping pill movies, so I had seen it like so many times. And, a lot of times it was just I'd see portions of it because I'd put it on at some point during the movie to go to sleep, and it would just, I'd be out. So I knew by waking up to the end of the movie that they had a song and a music video because I had seen it when I was younger, back in 1987. Totally. So I YouTubed it and found the video, and why don't I go ahead and while I'm here, go ahead and find it for you in my pile of stuff that I've recently watched. And history, my history. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's great. Dragnet music video. Come on, you slow computer. Hey, copy. Bada bing, bada who's your number Watson. Hack it. I don't know. I better turn off my sound there. Come on. You can, hey, there you go. Now take me there. I want to go there. Would you just take me there? Oh, hey, there it is. All right, where is my comments? Come on. You can do it. Just give me the damn comment zone. Ah. Join the conversation. Ah, there it is. All right, so let's type in Dragnet 1987 film music. Try to spell video correctly. Hey, it wasn't my fault, man. Alright, and then paste. Like my skin. Pasty. There it is. Alright, so now we've got a music video there that I just recently watched yesterday. And that was cool. And I will dig up some other things. Let's see. Yesterday we were talking about... we were looking through the TV guide, and I found a movie with Brian Keith called Second Chance, where Brian Keith's character purchases an Old West ghost town to turn it into a community of lost souls, right? Used people. Mainly to help people turn their lives around, right? So, so there's that. I got that music video song going through my head. And let's see. Second Chance, 1972. Uh, 1972 TV movie. Brian Keith. There we go. Voila. All right. Now we're sharing stuff. I'm sharing. Good. Just go. Just go already. I said just go. Hey, there it is. All right. Cool beans, man. Copy. Still cleaning up my table here, so we can have a little show and tell. No, I'll keep my pants on. I ain't showing you that. I ain't showing you the business. I know we've been talking penis this morning, but you don't get to see just the tip. Not even the tip. The Doors. They were in Florida, and they were playing, and true story. David Morrison, was that his name? Jim Morrison. David. What the fuck did I get? Because David, my friend, is really into the Doors right now. There you go. One of those little mind trips. So Jim Morrison supposedly exposed his penis on the stage and got arrested. He claims that he just put his hands in his pants and opened the zipper and stuck his thumb out, which is probably what happened. Because he was, I mean, he's a crazy dude, but he was kind of shy. I don't think he would have done that. You know, he was kind of a shy guy. And that's kind of topical. We just lost Val Kilmer a while back. And he did the quintessential Jim Morrison Doors movie. Yeah, he even blew away the remaining members of the Doors when they saw the film and when they met him for the film. They were like, whoa. Because Val Kilmer was really into video cameras, and he would video record himself doing a screen test. He would do his own screen test and then just send in the video, which it really started. Everybody does that now. Everybody makes their own screen tests and sends them in now. And Robbie Krieger's like, wow, I saw this screen test. And I'm like, dude, whoa. You know, I love the show and the fact that I can talk about whatever I want. I can be all over the place. You know, whatever. What fucking ever. My schedule is tight today, but I think I am going to try to get out to the bookstore, if it's open. Used bookstore out here. Figure I could get for the price of one book at Barnes & Noble, I can get a stack of books. So I'm going to go there and check it out. Books that I'm into are biographies, early American history biographies, I read the autobiography of Booker T. Washington, Up from Slavery. There you go. I like that type of early American history, the real stuff, not textbook and dates and you got to learn all of this for your history. Not that kind of crap. No. Learning about real people. I also like picture books. There's a series called From Above, and it is aerial photographs of major metropolitan areas like New York and Sydney, Australia, and Los Angeles, and, you know, places like that. So, and I like the fact that these books are 20, 30, 40 years old. And so when I'm looking in them, I'm looking into the past, and I can also take the present and compare the two, which is really fun for me, you know, to sit and look at. I've even got a book that's called Los Angeles From Above, Past and Present type thing. And it shows compared aerial photographs of the Los Angeles area from the 1800s and the 20s and 30s and stuff into the 70s and 80s, I think, and it compares the two. And what we really need is to take those and then put them alongside with a current satellite photo of that same spot to see what's changed. So maybe we'll do that on like a Throwback Thursday. Throwback Thursday is TT, capital TT. Let's do compare aerial photos. Right, that'll be cool.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
So, let's see here. Look at that guy's smoking a pipe there. Wow. This thing is really lagging. Trying to get my computer over to show me what's going on live, and it's like, All right. What was I?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, okay. Robert Anson Heinlein, X-1, that kind of stuff. X-1 radio show.
There you go, baby.
Yeah, I need a, what do you call it? A Chromebook, right? Just internet. I need that sitting here on the desk so that I can just read from stuff that I've thumb drived into it. I can create copy, create text, create information over here, jam it into a thumb drive, and stick it into the Chromebook. And then I can sit here, access internet facts, stuff that I've pre-written, you know, and then I can just use the graphics computer. Okay, I'm going to bring up this video or watch that, and then I'll talk about it, have the text in front of me, and I can face the camera. Because this turning around. So, I mean, I've got the studio. It's pretty much in a 360 here. We got this back here. Might as well get that rolling. Yeah. That's the one. There we go. So when I switch to this camera, I got my graphic going on back here. I'm not sure what to put on my little tube television here. I will probably have to create some kind of video element and put it on a VHS tape and go like that, and then just pop a tape in, I would just throw a movie in, but I'd get hit with copyright stuff because I'd have this copyrighted stuff playing behind me. Even though it wouldn't have any sound. What I'll do is I'll try to dig up something to put on there. I have a few other small TVs. I got some way bigger TVs and medium size and stuff. But, yeah, that'd be neat. Put something on back there. So let's see. Okay. Maybe I will try to use my phone here. Because there it is. Okay, yeah. So here's my information here. And I can also do that in lieu of a Chromebook. Use my little iPhone here that my daughter hand-me-downed. I love hand-me-down phones. I haven't bought a new phone in 10 years. My previous phone, which I'm still using as my monitor and my internet phone, that phone is like several years old. And my daughter's iPhone is, I don't even know what version it is. It's in great shape because the girls take care of their stuff. So I just rebooted this back to factory and booted it up. But I haven't put any apps on it. It has no apps loaded onto it after the fact. Yeah, this phone here has got all the apps, you know, YouTube and Netflix and a couple of other apps that I use. But because it's old, it doesn't have much room for apps. So I'm limited there. And then I vowed not to use this iPhone for a bunch of peripheral crap. It's basically a camera and a phone and GPS. That's it. That's all I use it for. And I don't even use the camera a lot because this thing needs a charge. Mainly because... oh, crap. I got all my stuff hooked up to other stuff. So let's see. Can I hook two phones to this charger at once? Yep, I can. Okay. Belch. So there you go. Two phones, one charger. And I need little stands for my phones so I can prop them up here on the desk. And then a little Chromebook. I think I need to get a little, spend a couple $100, get a little Chromebook. I don't know where I'm going to come up with that. I could do it on like QVC or Home Shopping Network or something like that, right? And then just pay a few bucks a month for a few months and then get insurance on it. Yeah, that'd be neat. I also need a new graphics computer, but I'm kind of thinking that I should wait and maybe get a desktop so that it's got some But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's about time for a bong hit is what it is. Coffee, bong hits. That's what it's all about in the morning, right? Coffee and bong hits. Arg. So let's see. It's just about 6 a.m. and then we'll switch over and get into our morning show. Our themed portion of the show. Just a reminder that tomorrow it is Arts and Crafts Day. So we'll see what we're going to do tomorrow. I don't know yet. We could do anything. The Thursday box is getting pretty big. It's getting pretty full of stuff. That's going to be my funnest day of the week. Is going to be Thursday. Not only arts and crafts, it could be anything. It could be anything. We could sit and read from the encyclopedia. Those are books with information. We could play an old game, right? There's just about anything. Look at 8-track tapes. Look at a book together. There's so much stuff that we could do on Thursday. It's got my favorite day of the week. And then Flashback Friday is probably my second. Because I get to talk about my own stuff. And, I think next Friday, not this Friday, but next Friday, we're going to talk a little bit about my 7th grade experiences. We're going to bounce around in the years. We'll go from my early years, and then we're going to talk about my junior high school years. And then I think we'll go back and I think we're going to save 1976. We're going to save that for July. And then we'll talk about what went on in 1976, because that's a pretty heavy year.
Yeah, buddy.
But in my 7th grade year is when I found out about punk rock, and I found out about the kindness of others. I also found out how bad somebody can be bullied. and what lengths they will take to not be bullied, because I dealt with that. So later we're going to deal with that. I think tomorrow we're going to look at some, not tomorrow, but Friday we're going to look at some photographs from Sierra Madre Canyon in 1970s, early 1970s. And we'll just kind of poke around, and then if there's anyone available, co-host can have a little back and forth. Mainly, I want a co-host for Friday, or at least somebody who's available to do a little Q&A, because I need to be quizzed about what was going on back there in order to change my perception by digging up more facts. I'll be like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, now I remember. I need that to go on. I don't get a lot of that here at home because they've heard it all before. Getting sleepy, huh? All right, brother, take it easy. Get some rest. Maybe I'll have you here Friday morning. All right, are you working tonight? If so, have a good night.
Yeah, brother. You take care of yourself.
Thanks for hanging out as usual. And, see you tomorrow morning, man. Late.
Let's see. The Hitskaruski. One for the road.
There you go. There you go. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I want to read the Dennis Weaver autobiography. So he came out to Hollywood about the same time as Rance Howard, Ron and Clint Howard's father, Bryce Dallas Howard's grandfather. And he kind of had an interesting time in Hollywood. Never really made it to leading man status. He had a few movies, but he never really made it all the way. All right. So X-1. Let's talk a little bit about X-1. It is an American half-hour science fiction radio drama. It's an anthology series, meaning they've got every week is a new story, a new place, a new world, new characters. And it ran from April of 1955 to January of 1958. Less than 3 years. Yep. And it ran on NBC in different time slots. And it has been considered and is considered like one of the best radio anthology series, just because it tapped so many science fiction writers of the period. And they had classic writers on the show adapting these short stories and these just great stories. Just a second here. I just got a little stack of books back here that I want to dig through. Okay, here we go. Here's The World of Science Fiction from 1955, October. Let me take this out of its packet here. Okay, and this is one of the books that they would take and pull. Oh, good. Well, he's probably gone, but I hope to see you the rest of the week. Last night working for the week. Okay, here we go. So here is The World of Science Fiction. It's called If, right? And there we go. You can see a couple of the writers there. All right. So this is just a monthly publication, and it comes out with a novelette, The Almost Men, and then it's got several short stories, Prisoners of Earth, The Proxies, Juvenile Delinquent, Slow Burn, Last Rites, Meeting of the Board, and then it has features talking about worth citing, what is your science IQ, science briefs, hue and cry. I don't know what this one, and then it's actually got a great cover designed by a great classic science fiction artist. And on the back, free round trip reservations to the moon, rocket ship schedule. Yes, it's true, an opportunity to have your name on file with the first company embarking on commercial flights to the moon. Wow. And you can get a certified reservation to prove it. Wouldn't that be great to have one of those in a frame on the wall from 1955? And this magazine here comes from the George Brown Newsstand, August 11th, 1955, next to the post office in what, California? Harvard? There's something printed across the thing with the thing, so it's hard to see what the thing means. Hanford, California. Is that what that's what it says? Hanford, California. I've never heard of Hanford, California. Let's look for Hanford, California and see if it exists. Maps. Search. Hanford. No, there's a Hanford Street out here, so we don't want that. Hanford, California. 241 miles away. It's just, I to do was type in fucking H and A, and all of a sudden this thing knows what I'm... See, that's what these phones... There's something going on here, all right? Because these phones, all you do is you think about something, you don't post, you just... Or mention to your wife, and then all of a sudden the shit fucking pops up on your phone. There's something going on here. Hanford, California. What is in Hanford? It's got an airport, municipal airport. Is this one of those places with a secret base, right? Leemore. What's the major highways? 41, 198. Hanford, 99, Fresno. So it's in between the 99 and the 5 in up by Visalia. Oh, it's up by Visalia. Okay. 198. See, I've always wanted to kind of go there. Visalia, Porterville, Fresno, Clovis. These are all places that I've kind of been through. That 99 runs parallel with the 5. Los Baños. So there's Hanford. So the Hanford newsstand. So that little tiny that it's a little tiny place now. So back then, what was there? That a guy would have a newsstand. All right, that's pretty heavy, man. That's some heavy stuff, dude. Heavy stuff. All right, so there were on the show X-1, one of my favorite radio shows. I have all episodes, of course, because they're on the channel, so I get to share them with you. I don't own copyright on this stuff, which is why my channel is not monetized, so that I can bring you this stuff from my past. It's not my stuff, but I feel like it's mine because it shared so much time in my life, right? That's why all of these things are on the channel, and that's why I don't monetize it, because I could tell you about these things. I could just sit and ramble on, but I wouldn't be able to share all of this copyrighted stuff with you. Some of it isn't even copyrighted. Some of it is just so obscure and out of date that nobody gives a shit. You know, obscure and out of date, so nobody gives a shit, right? It should be put on my tombstone. I'm going to warm up my coffee. I'll be right back. Oh, really? Be right back. Totally. Okay. Well, coffee's hot again. Let's see, I might as well put this book back in its little magazine bag here. I have some TV guides that are in these bags as well. I don't know what makes them special other than they're like fall preview copies or special edition copies. I also have some other little funny books here, some pulp fiction and some other stuff. So lights, camera. So of course we've got this one here, the science fiction If, and then we've got Walt Disney's Comic Digest, so it's got a bunch of Donald Duck crap in there. We've got Golden Comic Digests. Looks like we got some Woody Woodpecker there. This is a pulp book, pulp fiction, right? The Departure. And mainly it's, you know, hey, baby, I'm going to take you over there behind the bushes, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it long and hard, and we're going to do it all night. She's like, oh, geez, get on with it. Wide open town with a hot rod on the front there. And then Mystery Comics Digest, Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery. So this is just, you know, and then from behind the bush, we looked, and they were doing it. So there you go. There you go. Yeah. So let me see. I better get my act together here. We got just under an hour left here to get things rolling. So we talked a little bit about X-1. So one of my favorite shows, two of my favorite writers, who were their main writers, staff writers on the show, there were a number of other staff writers that they would bring in for different shows. Or somebody would say probably, I only let this dude do any adaptations or rewrites or anything, so you got to take it to him and he'll do it. Can you handle it, please? So two of my favorite writers were Ernest Kenoy and George Lefferts, and they actually wrote their own stories for the show as well. They were great. So if you listen to some of their adaptations, as well as some of the shows that they wrote, just great stuff. And then you can see Ernest Kenoy and George Lefferts a little bit taking to television fiction. Not so much as science fiction-y, but if you watch some of the stuff that I'll have to at some point pull it up. We'll talk about these guys again. So X-1 is all over my channel. Go find a playlist called X-1. I think I've got 2 files, 2 playlists, spanning 3 seasons, 120 some episodes. So check those out. Listen to those. Listen to them religiously, and then pop in and say something intelligent. Say, oh my gosh, did you see how this correlated with what's going on in the world today and the moon travel and yada yada? Right. So time to do. Oh my gosh, look, we're still aimed at the old. See, this is what happens when I don't have a monitor in front of me. Right? Is I don't know what camera I'm on. So you can see me doing all my crackhead stuff here, because this channel is not for kids. This is an adult channel, and I can do this shit. They haven't told me I can't yet. So, I mean, I'm not doing anything worse than having a drink or smoking a cigar, right? Which they do on the channels all the time. So, and I'm not going to lose a sponsor. Right? Not going to lose a sponsor. I may lose a viewer. What happens is I get new viewers, and they pop in and they watch stuff and videos and like, wow, this is cool, and then they watch me live and they went, then I can hear them think, oh my God, he's just a pothead, I'm out of here, right? And then they don't give it any further, or I'll say something political or social, economic or religious or something, and they'll get it hackles up and run off screaming, hey, he said this, he can't say that, how dare he? And I can say that stuff because it's my channel, and I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just expressing thoughts and feelings and emotions, which I would implore anyone to do. Let it out. This is my avenue for letting it out. Not only that, but I can try to find like-minded individuals who understand what I'm going through. So other people who have those glasses on, who can see the world the way I do. So, yes. Good old Bong Hitsky here, my beaker. Beaker. If you saw my Facebook post about the show this morning, I'm feeling goofy. I can't help it. I'm feeling do-wacka-do-ish. Someone left that blind up, and I am going to be blind shortly when the sun hits that window. Next time I have a chance, I'm going to have to get up and deal with it. All right, let's see if I can move things around here a little bit more. We still have to read from the TV guide. Yeah, let's see, I can put this here, put that there, put this here. Oh, my phone. unplugged. Okay, so I've got 2 phones charging off of 1 charger, and we're good. Okay, monitor's up, and we're good. Wow, the show has been great technically this morning. I'm using a little bit of computer, but no dropped frames, no freeze-ups, no hang-ups, no bullshit. So let's see. Let me put a few things in order here on my table so that we can enjoy some sharing, some show and tell. Too many big lighters up here. Too many big lighters. Big lighters. Big lighter. Big lighter. Okay. And all of my notes and stuff. Okay, let's put you over here. And you there. Okay. So, I am ready for show and tell. You know, we're just kind of zipping through the stuff this morning. It's kind of a quick show. You know, we've only got 2 hours. So I got to do my monologue, and I got to do everything else, too. I can hear that coffee pot clicking. Nothing else in the box. So I am going to take my radio here and put it up on the desk. Okay, there we go. And switch cameras. And there we go. So this is, move my coffee. This is my 1932 Philco radio. Move it over a little bit. There we go. Okay. Or was it better there? That's pretty good. Ace is in the way, but that's okay. I'm looking into the back of it here, which is exposed. It's open. And I see a lot of wires and tubes and stuff that's been chewed up by rats and all kinds of things. Because this thing came out of the dirt. I picked it up out of the dirt. And it's pretty chewed up. So it's got original paperwork and documents inside. Right? It's got original stickers. So that's something that's going to be taped over. It's going to be cleaned and laminated and taped over with clear tape to preserve it. Or what I might do is just put some paper over it and then tape the paper down so that it just remains unaffected by anything. And then I'm going to take this thing apart. I'm going to take the electronic components out. And clean everything up and strip it down. What I'm going to do now is turn it and set it down this way. Hopefully a bunch of crap won't pour out of the back. Okay, and now we are going to look at this. So this knob here comes right off. The others do not. But this one did, which is great because it enables me to see what's going on. And it looks like it is Bakelite plastic. And it's got enamel paint on it. So this Bakelite plastic shit has got to be salvaged. But I can't really use chemicals to get this paint off because it may affect that plastic. So I'm going to have to come up with some kind of solution. I'm going to take this front off somehow. I'm going to remove the entire front from the base and the electronics and move everything apart and be just left with this front wood, the bottom wood, and top side wood, right? So the top side wood and the front and this base, I'm just going to brush with paint remover and strip it down. Just strip it down with paint stripper. And flat blades and chisels and whatever I got to do to get as much of this paint off of here as possible and take it down to the original wood. And then restain it and revarnish it. I want it to be wood again, and I want it to be two-tone wood. Let me see, do I have yeah, here we go. I've got a reference book down in here, and if we take a look at my reference book, where is it? Where is my radio here? There it is. So, we take a look here, we see my radio right here. Alright, so right there. That's my 1932 Philco radio. The California model. And not the Pittsburgh version, the California version. So my task is to try to figure out how to do that two-tone there. It should be already there once I remove the paint, the enamel. That two-tone should come back. Okay. So there's that. There's my little, you know, and this book, it's one of those things I found serendipitously. Is that the word? It just, all of a sudden, I got this, you know, out of a pile of books or box of crap, you know, I wind up with things that I need. It's like the world just provides. Okay, so let's switch real quick, and I am going to lift this thing back. It's a heavy son of a bitch. It is a heavy son of a bitch. And spin it around. And I want you to take a look at the back side of it. Oh, yeah, just unloaded a bunch of dirt. Oh, you can hear the dirt inside of it. It's untouched since I brought it home. I haven't done anything to it. I wanted to leave it as it is. You don't fuck with old shit until you're ready to work on it. And let's see. So here we've got a an actual label, right? And it is, the chassis type is 89. The chassis, that would be this block of electronic stuff here, I believe. This would be the house. Doesn't say anything about that. Code 123, 60 watts, 115 volts AC. So it's got a plug, a regular little plug in here. All that plug needs to be replaced. I'm going to have to pull out and clean everything, label everything. It's got a little micro adjust here. And look, it's a little access port here. Little access port. It's got some great old tubes in here, so I'll have to go through, clean everything, look to see if there's any burned out tubes, and learn how to restore the interior workings of this, because that's getting it to work is pretty important to the restoration. So I'll have to join some groups, some clubs, do some research, find people who have boxes of tubes, and find whatever tubes. I've also got another TV that I need. It had a tube burned out on it, so I need to deal with that. So I need to get into some radio and TV repair stuff, which is right up my alley. I mean, since I was a little kid, I was always tinkering and repairing and taking stuff apart, put it back together. Not always successful, but I did learn a lot. So at this point, I have several electronic projects that I need to work on. I need to get an up and running 8-track player. I need to get an up and running micro tube television up and running. I need to get this radio up and running, and I need to get a turntable up and running for a friend. And so I've got some electronic projects that I need to work on. So this is one of them, and I need to get started on this one, so I need to find the time to get her done. Man, this side over here is a little bit warped, which means I'm going to have to strip this thing down, take it apart, and then put this piece of wood here, steam it or something, and put it into a jig and get it to come back straight. I could probably spray it with hot water from behind while it's in a jig, and that would probably be enough to do it. And have the jig overcorrect it so that it's got room to flex back once I pull it off the jig. And I think that'll work to get this bow out of this one side here. You can even see kind of a little bit of it here. Looks like there's a lag bolt or a machine bolt or something missing from back here on one of the sides from the body to the chassis. So I need to work on that. The feet, it's got all of the feet on here, but the rubber is worn down. So I need to take these tack feet. They're metal tacks with a metal outer ring and a foam rubber interior. I need to take those and see if I can pull the old rubber out and stick in some taller, fatter rubber. Stripping the enamel off of the plastic is really going to be the challenge. If it looks like it's too much, right? If it looks like it's going to be too much and too risky, then what I might do is just take a brown paint pen or black or whatever the color is. I think it's brown. Just take a brown paint pen and very casually do a couple of coats, or do some kind of little dip in brown enamel or something, just so that I can make everything match again. But and if I can chip that paint off a little bit at a time and soak it in something that's not harmful to the Bakelite plastic, but will fuck with that enamel, something, and then just keep chipping away and popping stuff off. I've got a little Dremel here, but other than a polishing wheel, I wouldn't want to use anything else on it. So yeah, my 1932 Philco radio. I can't wait to start working on that. I also have to get out and get some, clean up the dirt that came out of this fucking thing. Get a couple of more electronics in here to work on. I've got my 8-track players plugged into the stereo there. I believe that's the one I want because it has a channel stop on it. So when it switches tracks, it stops, and you can adjust it to switch off after each track, or when it gets to that magnet, that little strip of foil, or you could have it play all the way through and then stop, or you can put it on a replay. So I like that one because when I'm rebuilding 8 tracks, which is something I want to do here at least once, I like to push them into the machine and listen to them to hear the quality of the sound, but also to get it to the foil. And then once it stops on the foil, I can pull it out, pull it apart again, remove the tape wheel, replace that foil on there, and then put it all back together. Right? So that's really important to have a machine that I can do that with. And then that little tube television, right now my friend has it. We were using it as a prop. I don't know where that project has gone. But that television worked. It went out on me when I was using it, so I imagine it was just a tube that burnt out. So I need to get that tube, open it up, find a dark tube, and send it out to someone and get it replaced. There's probably someone in the area here that has an old radio TV tube tester. They pop up once in a while on on the marketplaces and Craigslist and whatnot, especially the whatnot. They're all over the place. Let me see. Let me move my. So we're going to do some readings from the TV Guide here soon. Another movie that I found in the TV Guide, which really excited me, was a movie called The Phantom Rebel from 1974 or 76 or something. And let me see if I can find it. It was kind of a kids' mystery movie, kids' detective movie made for TV. But it stars Lance Kerwin, and I was just talking about Lance Kerwin the other day for Television Tuesday, and we had gone to the same schools at different time. I actually worked at the Lake Elsinore Sahara Dunes Casino when I was 15 or 16. I did it without a work permit and got in trouble. It was a whole fiasco. But while I was working there, Lance Kerwin came in and did some eating and gambling and that kind of stuff. And he was just become an adult. And so let's see. I am going to search over here for that movie. And it is, where is my 1976. And let's see. It's taken me to a lot of Star Wars crap and weird people. I'm a rebel. Okay, let me go back and type in full movie. That usually helps. Kung Fu episodes. Come on. The town that dreaded sundown. Well, I'm going to assume that it's probably not here, otherwise it would have come up pretty quick. That's a bummer. So I'm still in search of that movie, 1976, The Phantom Rebel, kind of a kids' detective movie, made for TV, probably ABC afternoon special type stuff. So, yeah, keep your eyes open. Let me know if you find it somewhere. Find a link, because I'd be interested, in watching it. Totally. I picked up that, acquired that, found it really. That movie, Second Chance. That's right there on the comments. So watch that one. I have yet to watch it. I'm going to watch it this evening if I'm real lucky. It's only like an hour and 15 minutes long. It was probably made as a 90-minute movie. So 90-minute movies back then translated to about 75 minutes because of the commercial time needed. So it's got to be a short movie. So I thought, all right, well, this is about as long as a Columbo episode, shorter than a McCloud episode, so let's watch it. Or about as long as a McCloud episode. I guess they're about the same. Yeah, baby. So, we are going to read from the TV Guide of what's happening today, Wednesday. And today, of course, is the 9th. And this TV Guide is from April 10th to April 16th, 1976. It's awesome sauce. Next week we'll have another TV Guide or two from April. It may not line up correctly, but, we're we're so lucky to have these things. This is another thing that I went to a house to purchase thousands of records, and they were throwing this shit in the trash. And this lady, the neighbor lady, saw what it was, but she had already collected so much crap that she didn't want them. But she saw my interest in them, and I grabbed a couple, and she went through all of it and pulled out 100 copies for me of TV Guide that she dug up. So I've got these TV guides that are like so precious to me, because they're like my window on the past, and it's just so freaking awesome to have them. I don't remember her name, but thank you. Throwback Thursday is tomorrow, and I've got a lot of stuff in the box. So we've got stuff on the schedule, but we got a lot of stuff in the box. So we're going to go through some stuff in the box. I just recently went to the thrift shop and picked up a few things. So those things are in the box, because I buy this stuff because it's from the past. I got to get up and close that blind because the sun is starting to come in, and it's starting to bounce off the corner of this copier in my book here. So I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Yep, we're on the right camera. So I'm not too far away. I'm right here. Don't get scared. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Whew, that takes care of that. There you go. There you have it. There it is. Right there in front of you. Okay. I'm back, baby. So this morning I have to get my act together and boogie on out of here, go back down to the campus in the desert and take the kid and drop her off. And then she's going to spend the day down there, and her friend is going to meet her down there for her class, and then they'll spend the day together down there. So she just can't make it this morning, so I'm on call. That's my job. So I'm going to do that and then come back and, let's see, on the way I have to drop off my wife at her friend's house because it's Wednesday and that's when she helps her friend. And then on the way back through town, I've got to pick her up. So I've got to drop her off, come back here, pick up my daughter, take my daughter down to the desert, come back on the way into town, pick up my wife, and then whatever else. And then if we're up for it, from there, we're just going to drive straight to the bookstore if it's open. And bada bing, bang, boom. It probably won't be open today. Probably won't be open till tomorrow or Friday or some shit. That's usually the case. On the day when I want to go, it's the day they're closed. Usually it's like a Monday they're closed. So. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. My coffee is coming back to the foreground. And it's probably cold. There we go. I'm going to heat up my coffee real quick. And then we're going to dive into the TV guide here. Okay? I'll be right back. I promise. All right, I'm back. What are you going to do about it, huh? Nothing, that's what. Yeah. All right. TV guide. Let's talk about the TV Guide. At some point, we'll do a show on the TV Guide on Television Tuesday. We'll talk about the TV Guide itself and where it came from, when it came from. Just like we'll do with Radio Shack. We'll do the same thing with Radio Shack and their catalogs. We'll also do stuff like one of my favorite things growing up was catalogs, right? Because you could dream, right? So let's do a catalog episode with like Sears and Roebuck, the Radio Shack, yeah, the J.C. Penney. This also brings up old department stores like Mervyn's. Mervyn's was a great department store. So yeah, so we'll talk about the TV Guide and where it came from, because the TV Guide was an important magazine. It was in everybody's homes. You had to know what was coming on. You had to know what you were going to miss, right? Totally. And I like to gild the lily. I like to, stretch it out and build that anticipation, as it were. And I don't really do anything quick in the morning, right? I'm sure any of my past employers could attest to that. Recently. Like I haven't had an employer in like forever. Mainly because I can't do employers. Most of them have their head up their ass. And they're always worried about the wrong things. And then therefore their company goes to shit and they start blaming everybody else, right? But ultimately they're the ones with the control. And they just, so many guys, the last guy that I worked with, he gave so much, deal with it, was his answer, And then, why didn't you deal with it? Well, we got out there and we didn't have the right stuff. Well, why didn't you take the shit with you? Well, we didn't know. You knew exactly why you were going out there. No, we didn't. The last guy that went out there knew it was good. Well, why didn't you get with him? Oh, he was already gone. You ain't got a phone? And this is how it was like this every fucking day working with these guys. And it was just, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And I was the guy that would show up early just to set up my truck filled with stuff that needed to be in the truck for that day, right? And other guys would just show up, they would grab the stuff they think they need and take off. And then, no, we didn't have it. Well, why didn't you check? You got black screws? This thing requires black screws. Do you not have your assortment of black screws? No, what the hell are you going all the way out there for? Just so that you can go over to drive even further to the hardware store and buy stuff that we've already got in the shop, right? It's ridiculous. So I can't work for employers because they got their heads up their ass. Their employees got their heads up their ass. I'm running around trying to do 2 or 3 guys worth of shit because I think that I should. It's like, and then what? You don't get a raise, you don't get a thank you. You get scowled because you didn't do it. You didn't do it better. Why did you get that guy's stuff together, then? Fuck you. First of all, that wasn't my job. I was fucking doing it to be nice. And that's what you get for being a nice guy. You get fucked over. They fuck you at the drive-thru. They know you're going to be miles away, and they fuck you. I'm not going to eat it. Shut up. What movie? Tell me. Somebody fucking tell me. All right. I know somebody out there's listening and who knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Like I said, no drama. I can't do drama. If you got drama, keep it to yourself. You got stuff about the show here? Bring it on. Let's talk. Let's talk about stuff. Because that's why I'm here. I'm not here for any other reason than to talk about stuff. Ask Joey, he can attest to that. He was here for a week, and there was like, it was like a no drama situation. It was just so casual, right? Between here and then going to Las Vegas and coming back, it was just such a nice, mellow, you know. It was hard, painful, and long, but it was fun. But sometimes the roughest, hardest road is the most rewarding, right? Sheesh, you don't have to tell me 3 times. All right. Police story. That is on the cover. It's on the cover, so it is the cover story. Like I said, this is April 10th through April 16th, 1976. Let's see. You know what? Let's do something a little different. I can't zoom this camera, and I'm kind of upset about it. But this is as close as we get to this camera here. Raleigh cigarettes. Do you remember Raleigh cigarettes? Let's go back. Marlboro Lights. I used to smoke Marlboro Lights. Can you tell? I had to stop so I can keep smoking pot. To stop cigarettes a long time ago, just so I could keep smoking pots. Let's see. Ooh, natural fresh breath. Wrigley's Double Mint chewing gum. It's a natural for fresh breath. And Raleigh cigarettes. All right. To see over 1,000 gifts, write for your free gift catalog. Wow. Because you got to give shit away to sell cigarettes. The Chevette. And 10,000 to one shot Jack Nicklaus. There was a Jack Nicklaus resort built out in between Marietta and Temecula. Something bear, golden bear, something big bear, some kind of bear thing. That alarm that just went off is telling me that Skull, that's Walt Garrison, a football rodeo star. I gotta go wake my wife up so she can get ready to go. That's a tall story, Russian TV. Alright, I am going to let his fingers do the reading, so that is a blind television correspondent. That's pretty cool. Max. Look at those Max by Kent. 120s, the long, thin cigarettes. Oh man, we used to steal those from my friends' moms. They used to smoke those long, thin cigarettes. Cosmetic kit for $1. ABC fall lineup. Cancels 9 already. Wow. That's crazy. And look at that. Geritol. Safola. What is this Safola here? Like margarine, right? Join the Air Force. There you go. Think of the air jar heads. Oh! I just alienate a bunch of people. Give me a break. Look at that. Lose fat. With that one little pill. Yeah, it's called speed, you fucking weirdos. Ooh, solve hot water shower problems. All right, I am going to go wake up the little woman, and I am going to put this here, and I'll put my secrets box here to hold it open. On the page, I'll be back in a flash. Don't nobody go anywhere. I'm going to turn off the mic so you can't hear me saying, "Hey, honey, get up. Yo, honey. Yo, baby." Okay, the wife is starting to wiggle, and the dogs are starting to shake. Coffee's hot, so there you go. She should have an easy time getting up. All right, let's see what we got here. Canadian Olympic stamp sculptures. Ooh, 1976 Olympics in Canada. All right, so let's get to Wednesday. Let's get to Wednesday here. Wednesday morning. Here we go. Bada bing bang boom. Pardon me. Contemporary California at 6:30. Noticias en total 24. 6:15. Let's see, what else do we have? We have Mike Douglas. Got Peter Graves, The Stylistics. Stuntman Hal Needham. Wow. Sounds like a great show. Little Rascals, The Boxing Gloves. Linda Carter and on Break the Bank. Oh, that's a game. So they had guest stars. Oh, let's see. What is any good movies? I'm interested in the movies because a lot of these movies are just lost to time. And every once in a while I can find something on here that looks really good. Or an old TV show. And actually find something. Find a piece of it. Or a TV spot. Something. Anything. Something, other than a little bit of text that says, "Hey, I was here." So we're in 6 o'clock in the evening. I haven't seen any good movies on yet. It's Wednesday, so I don't know what we're going to find. We've got Ironside at 7, Bonanza, Gunsmoke, another Bonanza, some more Mike Douglas. Jeez. Lord. To Tell the Truth. So we got Bewitched and Newsroom, a diesel horn sale, limit to a customer. Wow, you can sound like a diesel truck. That's cool. Oh, and more Tiger Puka shells, of course. Flips Sun Valley Olympiad. And looks like there's a Richard Pryor, Peggy Fleming, Alex Koresh, Minnie Riperton, Shelley Young. Yeah, wow. I don't know what it all means. Bionic Woman at 8. Little House on the Prairie. And Bill Moyer's Journal. If my party wants me and needs me, they know where I am. Minnesota Senator Hubert Humphrey. There you go. I guess we didn't need him. Flip Wilson Variety Show, Sun Valley Olympiad. This is, Strategic Air Command, 1955. That's a movie that I've seen. At 9 o'clock, Beretta. That's a show that's kind of weird. Great performances. Box St. Matthew's Passion. Okay. Hal Holbrook as Carl Sandburg's Lincoln. Part 6, Last Days, Wednesday, April 14th. Interesting. And still at 9, we have Canon, which is a William Conrad show. Guest stars Ralph Bellamy, Gary Lockwood, among others, James Keach. All right. At 10, Starsky and Hutch. Huggy Bear becomes a mob target. Ooh. And then, of course, Sandberg's Lincoln. Blue Knight. A pill-pushing parolee, a model dead of a drug overdose, and a cocaine addict who is ready to talk. Bumper. Who's Bumper? George Kennedy. Really? Blue Knight. Blue Knight. Let's see what we can find about Blue Knight. Knight. 1976. TV. George Kennedy. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, we got a little something there. What's up, dog? I hear a dog. All right. What else do we have? Black Journal. Black Journal. Okay. The heat wave lasted 4 days. Canadian, 1974. TV cameraman. Narcotic dealer. Doesn't look too interesting. And boom, right into late night, and it's gone. Late night, late night. All right. Let's see. No, it doesn't look like there's anything good of interest for me anyway. And then we're into Thursday. So there you go. There you have it. There it is, right in front of you. The dog. He says we're awake now. The house, she's waking up. So, let's see. I want to let you know about tomorrow again. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about what new book I'm going to read. Maybe I will have an idea of what the book is all about by the time we talk next. We'll probably listen to some Grateful Dead from 1980, do a little bit of arts and crafts, see what's in the box, do a little reading from the encyclopedia, and then of course Friday we'll do some more stuff and spend a little time talking about my past. Yeah, I think we got time for another swig of coffee and another bong hit before we go. Be sure to tune in Friday night at 5 for the video time machine, which I have yet to put together. I have been gathering up elements. I think it's important that I try to be topical with the video time machine to what's happening today on the show and in the world. So I'm trying to tie things together. Last week's video time machine, I tried to tie together the Aldous Huxley stuff that we were talking about, and the Whopper Kid, and Dimension X, and a few of the other things we were discussing, and things that came up on the channel, on the show, that popped up, like when Mike stopped by and we talked a little bit about Dr. Demento. So I threw in a 15-minute segment on Dr. Demento into the time machine. So yeah, I will be going through notes of what's happening this week and trying to use that information to build an episode of the VTM, the Video Time Machine. So that'll be fun. Fun. I'll probably be doing that today, working on it a little bit, editing down some elements, and then putting it together tomorrow and and tomorrow evening. Today and Friday is really my days to work on it because I'm in the car on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'll probably do most of the Video Time Machine work today. I don't know how, but I'll shoehorn it in somehow. Yeah. Well, this has been great. I love the new format because it gives me something to do other than just sit here and whine, which I love to do. I love to bitch and complain. Squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? I should be one greasy motherfucker. I should. He keeps squeaking. I got quarts of oil and he keeps squeaking. You got to use the really thick grease, really, yeah, just that stuff that's like, well, it's like grease, right? It's totally greasy stuff. All right, well, let me go ahead and sign off for the day because, whoa, hey there, I gotta get shit going on. All right, let me get to my closing credits, and be sure to the closing credits this time and not the opening credits again like I quite often do. Doesn't that suck? I'm gonna need a boob job here soon to get lifted. I'm getting saggy. Getting old. I think I'll have a muffin. Blueberry muffin. That sounds really good. Yeah. All right, people, I am going to get out of here. I want to thank you for stopping by. I also want to remind you, once again, to be nice out there. Spread peace and love, not bullshit. Do something for yourself, but do something for somebody else because you're not alone out there. All right, it's a big world, and we got to share it. So, take care of each other. Most especially, stay weird, because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody gonna be weird for you. All right, people, love you. Adios. Have a good day. Do yourself right and have fun. All right, bye now.